Welcome back, everyone. So much like the Apollo video, I'm going to convince you now that this Misc Fortune, although we don't know if that name will stick, is going to be a prospector offshoot. So you can see here in frame that I've got myself in here. Now, there's some limitations in this shot that I have to deal with, but all in all, you can see this appears to be the Misc Fortune appears to be about the same scale and size of the current prospector. So we'll take a look into that. I also want to take a look at the end at the Ironclad and the possible combo that could be good for 2025 for salvaging as a mini carrier along with the prospector. Anyways, let's take a look into it. I'll read the intro and then we'll get into take a look at the discussion. All right, so here we go. We'll start from front to back. So this is kind of the initial thoughts. Now I'm off at a different angle here, so you'll have to forgive that. Like you can't really see where the salvage. So I suspect up front here, a couple things. One caveat is this is clearly a size 4 SCU box. This is a size 2 SCU box. It does appear to possibly be a size 2 SCU box in there. You'll kind of notice if you look at that picture. You probably won't notice in the small picture I've got in the corner, but this little corner shows up, and so I think there might actually be a 2 SCU box in the original, which may mean that this could print a 2 SCU box, which would be nice. I don't think it prints a 4 SCU box. I just didn't have two SCU boxes, so I only had one of them. Also, you'll notice that the salvaging head, this is clearly a salvaging head, not a mining head. I mean, I wasn't sure either way, but now as I look at these two, right, so I pulled this off the Vulture. If you look at this, the cuts in that video, in the top corner picture, if you look at the little cut areas here, the rigid areas, this is clearly a salvaging head that's on there. Again, additionally, on the sides, you'll notice the, like essentially they're tuning forks, the disintegration beam area. I think there'll be one on each side for this. Well, I'm just going to call it the Misc Fortune, right? I'm going to call it the Fortune for now. I think there'll be two of these, and so I don't know if they'll extend out or if they'll remain in the section they are in that particular picture. At any rate, I think that's what will be used for disintegration. There's nicer lights up front here. Obviously, this is a hanger light. This isn't really the lights on the front here, but I do like the light bar that they have going on in the Fortune, and so I look forward to using that. It actually seems like it might even be a bit better than the Vulture. That being said, I want to start this off. I actually like the Vulture more than I like the Prospector, so it's unfortunate to see that they're forcing me to use this Fortune, but unfortunate that they're using this Fortune. But it is what it is. It seems like this is going to be the better go-to of the two if you want to use it inside another ship, because currently it is hard to find a good spot to put the Vulture. Although that could change. I still think that might change with the Polaris. That being said, it was hard to tell. There's definitely just a bed in here. That's what makes up most of the cargo section in here. Not the cargo, the main section here, but I can't tell if it cuts off here or if it goes back. It seems like when I was doing steps in there, it seems like it might go as far back as like the first saddlebag. Obviously, I've taken the saddlebags off because they won't be here. A notable thing too, you do see the spoiler in this picture and you'll see the spoiler in the other one. But this also, it's slimmer back here. So it slims down quite a bit as it goes back here. So a lot of this section down here is gone, and about where this is at is where the lift will be. So the little elevator lift where the people are standing in the one-use SCU boxes. And you'll notice too that I didn't quite line up with the height of the midsection of my character, and that's only because there's no elevator platform that I'm standing on. I guess this would be on the platform potentially too, but at the end of the day, the sizing appears to be, when I look at everything in this picture and compared to that other picture, it appears to be this should be about the same size. I mean, if not, it's real close to what will be available for the other, the Fortune. That being said as well, that means the height I would think to be about the same. The landing gear looks similar, although slightly varied. I couldn't tell if there were maybe 4 landing gear pieces instead of just the one, or if there were still just 3 like this picture. It's hard to tell in that picture. But this all lines up properly. It looks a little more flat on the top here, obviously because it doesn't have all this going on. But this still appears to be lined up more or less with the VTOLs appear to be lined up with the top of the ship itself. So all of this is lined out quite a bit. It's just this hump here that's going to make up the bulk of how high it's going to be, and it appears to have some sort of kind of ridge to it as well. That's about it. All of the rest of it kind of lines up. Again, when I go back to this particular section here, a lot of the back half of this ship is not really being utilized. It's all just saddlebags and kind of wasted space. So it'll be cool to see how much room can actually be made for salvage back there. But again, that I don't care about, only because, I mean, I care a bit, right? I don't want it to be like 2 SCU back there for storage. But from a large perspective, I mean, if it's about the same as the Vulture, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more obviously would be better. Also, I don't know how much the buffer will carry, but I'm looking forward to using this inside. The Prospector fits already in the 890. I think it will continue to fit in other hangars. I look forward to going out and doing salvage inside of another ship. And the question will be, what ships will it fit in? What ship could you take it out into the verse to do salvaging? And that will make the expansion of the cargo much better. Obviously, the other challenge is you'll have to make a lot of trips back and forth. Also, gassing it up, how big of a deal will that be? For me, I could see having potentially 2, I mean, until they fix the gas issue, being able to refill your ship, even if you brought a Starfarer, is not really possible currently. So I can see needing to bring 2 of these and just using one initially to run about, finding the panels, whatnot, and then having to dump it, honestly, unfortunately, clear it out, dump it, and then leave it out in the middle of nowhere, and then using the second one to finish off your day, finish doing whatever salvage you need to do, and then bring it back home with you, or leave it out there as well. And that's where the game's at right now, because there's no way to refuel the ship. So I've had to do it with my Vulture. It's unfortunate, but very common. I'll take the Vulture and the Caterpillar out, I'll do some salvaging, and I'll use the Caterpillar as the way to actually carry the RMC, or the construction material, whatever it is that I'm actually picking up, and I leave the Vulture out there wherever it's at. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to take a look at there. Let's take a look at the Q&A and the sizing proportions of the Prospector, because I think that's going to be very important going into the end of the, as we go into the next year. I don't know when we're going to get this ship. It appears they're working on it. I can't imagine it would be very hard to complete this, considering they already have the Prospector. That being said, they're also working on the Ironclad. So I think the Ironclad and this will be a great combo, but this will be able to be comboed with other ships as well, possibly even the new Polaris coming out. So I'll look forward to salvaging in the Polaris. Again, I know that's blasphemy to a lot of people, but it is what it is. Like, anytime I could take a little ship out that can do salvaging, I look forward to doing that along with the cargo capacity of another ship. So yeah, let's take a look at the Q&A, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about the Ironclad. The video about this not too long ago, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But I'm looking pretty specifically at the Ironclad for this. I couldn't find a video to show if the Prospector fit in a C2. It may fit. I can't think of any other ship besides the 890 that I know it currently fits in. I suspect it'll be pretty easily to fit it as well into the upcoming Polaris. So dimensionally, it is possible, supposedly, again, this is based off the Q&A, spoken word by CIG themselves, that it should be possible to use the Ironclad as a mini carrier, which I'm excited for because it looks like a carrier. And the dimensions would be 40 in length, 40 meters in length, 21 meters in width or beam, 7.5 meters in height. And this is the problem we ran into with the Vulture, because the Vulture is about 9 meters, I believe, in height. Largely that little dish at the top that probably gets in the way. So if we look here, you can see this is where you would put the ship. And if we look at the measurements, the height is 7 for the current Prospector. So I would not expect that to be any taller when we looked at the other Prospector versus the Fortune. So it seems like there shouldn't be any reason why, unless sort of reason it's just a bunch taller. But I can't imagine it's really, that much taller. It would need to be within the range of 0.5 meters taller in order to not fit. And even then, maybe it can be finagled some way, somehow. But yeah, being able to put the Prospector in here, I think would be huge. Unload it would be great. I guess from the Prospector's perspective and that capture, one thing I didn't mention, I'm not super excited about the way that elevator comes down. I'd rather have a door like the Vulture has, but unfortunately, that's the reason I like the Vulture so much, just being able to quickly dump it out because of that door. Having that little elevator spot, it's hard to say. Obviously, you can have the Prospector off to the side. Just imagine unloading that into the Ironclad or whatever ship you're bringing along with you. But yeah, having the carry gameplay, being able to bring along the Prospector, maybe the Prospector and the Misc Fortune would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I had. I'm looking forward to this combo. I do have the Ironclad. The Fortune is something I would have to look at, and I don't think I'd get rid of the Vulture. But there's other. I have the Anvil. I have both the Liberator and the Ironclad. I'm looking at probably getting rid of the Liberator this go around. So anyways, that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate those that have taken time to like the video and mention comments down below. I like to have dialogue with the people that do drop comments, like to share my thoughts. and appreciate those who have taken the time to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.